Hi, and welcome to the pre-race show for the JINX Shifters AOSC 10. And tonight, of course, joining me back in the booth will be Daniel Leat and Matthew Norris. Guys, welcome back to the show.
Welcome.
Good to be back.
And tonight we've got a special guest joining us too, Jordan Ross, one of the racers who's going to be coming in and giving us some insight into what's been going on throughout the season and how his team's going at Synergy Sim Racing. Jordan, welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me in tonight.
Oh, mate, we can't wait to get you down about last week's race and have a bit of a chat about some of the changes that have happened in iRacing with the car setups too. So we'll have a bit of chat about that later. Big shout out to all of our sponsors, of course. JINX Shifters, AJ Insurance Services, simrigs.com, Sydney Computers, Bowler Media, Sideways Photography, Race Art Australia, and, of course, Track Cams for Gourmets. And they've given us some great camera shots I was watching from last week. Unfortunately, I wasn't there, guys, but I got to watch it, especially the safety car. I like the view out the back, so that was fantastic. And if you haven't already, make sure you go to our YouTube channel, AOSC TV, and make sure you click and subscribe to that one. But yes, round number 7, guys, it's going to be a big one to try and get through at Sonoma Raceway. It was race 182. Plenty going on throughout this one. We'll get to that in a second, but let's just head into the top 10 now and go through exactly what ended up happening and where they ended up going in the top 10. James Scott, of course, got a win again, which is we're getting pretty common in the series so far. Andrew Dyson come up in second position. Brent Hobson made it onto the podium too, so good to see one of the SSR boys in there. Corey Shepherd back in fourth, not his traditional second place. Damien Johnson, another impressive run there in fifth position. Then it was Aaron Dodd in sixth, Tom Freer in seventh, Kenneth Latter in eighth, Michael Taliancic in ninth, and Jamie Stovall rounded out our top 10. So that was the top 10 that we've just gone through. Dan, any surprises in this one to see there, especially Corey Shepherd back in fourth?
Yeah, Corey had a little bit of a tough race there. Didn't quite have the pace that we would have expected from him, similar to what we've seen throughout the season so far. So just struggling a little bit there, but no doubt we'll see him make amends for that during the week. Probably the big takeout, and Norry's going to touch on it as well, was Brenton Hobson had a cracking run. And also Thomas Hinds starting his 100th race in the AOSC as well.
Yeah, it wasn't a great night for Hinds, though. He got a number of incidents out there and plenty of damage on the car throughout the night. Norry, what do you take away from this round?
It's like Dan almost took the words from my mouth. It's Brenton Hobson made a stunning start and really was a force to be reckoned with in that race. He made his intentions known from the outset because he got around Corey Shepherd and made a strong start into position 2 and stayed there practically all night until we had that schmozzle about 6 or 7 laps from the end and caused that safety car. That was where he was. So it would have been a good race for Brenton Hobson. He still finished third, so still good. Could have been better.
Well, Jordan, you were actually involved in this. You were actually racing a couple of weeks ago, and it was lap 41. You saw it all unfold in front of you, and then you somehow found the wall.
Yeah, I still don't know how I found the wall, but I did. But yeah, you're right. Hobbo was having a cracker of a night, and yeah, he's probably a bit unlucky not to end up getting second in that race. It was, I think he just put a wheel out over the crest, and Corey was able to sort of get up the inside of him in a place where it's always going to be messy. And then it was just, I don't know what happened to me. I think I just ran out a bit of talent and walled it. But yeah, I think probably the biggest takeout of that round was Hobbo having a big swing and he found a lot of pace and I think after the safety car or like during one stint he wasn't losing much to Scott. Like when we looked at lap times, he was actually pretty competitive. So really good.
Yeah, well, we got our safety car. We had bets on it last week that the safety car was going to come out. Lap 35s when we got it. I did notice throughout the commentary you guys were actually surprised it hadn't come out earlier. So it was pretty good for the guys at Sonoma to get by. We know how much dust, if that gets taken onto the track, how loose it gets. So Very surprised to see 35 laps before a safety car. We only had 46 laps in the race, but yeah, lap 41 all unfolded. Unfortunately, Jordan Ross, yeah, you big incident that you managed to finish the race day. How much damage did you end up with your car?
Oh no, it was a mess. The car was a mess. I had to go in and get a quick repair. But yeah, I had a meatball the whole bit. So yeah, it was no good.
Another one that had a bit of a shocker was Brian Borg. He had some internet issues, so a bit of net code there, and he sort of vanished. I noticed we were looking for him on the broadcast. He came back, though, managed to finish the race, and I think he was only a lap down in the end. That safety car really helped him.
Absolutely. I mean, being able to get back in when he did, yeah, it's all about accumulating the points, and he was still able to do that by getting out there. But yeah, we were really surprised. Like, he was in a very good top 10 position early on in the race, and then next minute, I know Norry and I were both looking for him, wondering what had happened, and later on, yeah, we did find out it was some internet issues. But unfortunately, like real world, you do get those little hardware gremlins that get in the way, and for Brian, unfortunately, it was the case of the internet getting in the way.
Briggs also blew his engine, I think. So I think it was like second or like third, fourth, and fifth in the championship or whatever it was going into the round. Finished like 25th, 26th, and 27th in the race.
Yeah, there's going to be some big championship implications to that one. And another one, Norrie, I did notice on the broadcast was that but Bowden and Ladder actually came together on the restart in turn 2, I believe it was. And they came together. Yeah, it was a big one. And Bowden really, that hurt him. Ladder managed to sort of get the car going again. Bowden had a big spin out. It took a bit for him to get up and running again.
Yeah, it wasn't altogether too flash. But, yeah, I was going to touch on the Adam Briggs engine line, because I had a chat to Adam post-race, and he was sort of saying, how did that even happen? So he was even miffed as to how it happened. But yeah, you're right with Bowden and Ladder. That was not a great incident. Should have kept that one cleaner.
Yes, well, so plenty happened throughout Sonoma, and I'm actually surprised it was as clean as it was with the racing, especially with the difficulty of the circuit, how much dust and dirt can get dragged on when they go over the curb. So, well, but, you know, this is how it ended, and let's have a look at the series standings now, because this is a few changes going on here now. James Scott, no surprise, still up number 1. Corey Shepherd remains in P2. Andrew Dyson in 3rd position. Tom Freer in 4th, so he's made his way back into the top 5. Jordan, you're in there in 5 still, so that's good to see you still in the top 5. Adam Briggs in 6th. Brian Borg in 7. Kyle Stokes in 8. Damien Johnston now in 9. And Jamie Stovold still holds on to that 10th position.
Yeah, some really interesting moves going on throughout the field. Tom Freer actually jumped from 7th to 4th at the end of Sonoma's event, so he had a really good one. But just keep an eye on the Synergy cars starting to stack up just at the bottom of the top 10 there. They're really starting to come on strong. 4 cars in that top 10. That's a team to be reckoned with at the moment.
Yeah, Jordan, we want to get back to you with this one. I mean, the Synergy Sim Racing guys, you're coming on strong now. You know, we're 7 rounds in, but probably the last 3 or 4 rounds, we've noticed a lot of your drivers getting a lot more consistently in the top 10.
Yeah, we've been building a good team for probably a good 12 months now, and we're really happy with like the recruitment that we've done over the last 12 months, and everyone's sort of contributing to pushing in the direction we need to go. So we're getting there. They've just changed the car after Sonoma, but prior to Sonoma, we 2 rounds before Sonoma, we found a bit of a gain, and we were starting to build the car around that. So I'm confident we'll do it again. We'll get together and try and find out the little idiosyncrasies of the new build and try and get up there and challenge the top guys.
Yeah, well, you just touched on it. iRacing has done an update. What are some of the differences you're already finding with some of the testing in the team?
Like I was saying earlier, it's making a little bit more sense to us compared to the old car. So with the old car, it didn't, in our opinion, and this is just like from our team, it didn't really, like the changes you made didn't really relate to what you would do in real life to make the car better or do what you needed it to do in real life. And I think with the new build, what we've found so far, and we've only had it for a week, is that it's much more along the lines of like the real world, and what you think you need to change, or you change, and it does make that difference that you think it will make. So that's that's sort of what we've found so far. But it's in its very infant stages, the new build. So like all the top guys will still be there, and obviously they'll all be working away with their teams and whatnot to figure the setups out. But so are we. So we're confident we'll get there.
No, you got a strong team, and it's going to be interesting to watch the championship points. We're halfway through the season now, so James Scott definitely has a little bit of a lead there. He's got himself 200 odd points over Corey Shepherd, and so they've sort of gone out first and second now. They're still in a nearly 400 point gap back to Andrew Dyson in third. So it's really going to go on for that third place in the championship. I think it's going to be hard for James Scott and Corey Shepherd. They are the ones that are going to battle out for 1 and 2 in the championship. If they can maintain what they've done so far, especially with the new car setup. So that'll be interesting to watch as we go through. But another great segment on the show, which we always love to do for our sponsors, obviously simrigs.com. Show us your rig. So this week we've gone into our Discord channel. We've pulled out some photos. We've had a look who's next to send in their rig photos. Don't forget, you can, if you want to, get into the Discord channel or onto our Facebook page to send them in. But this week it was Damien Johnson and Norry. Run us through it.
Yes, well, he's got a TR160 with PC tray and swivel tray, obviously for the keyboard there. Thrustmaster T-GT, a Fanatec V3 with brake performance kit, a Thrustmaster TH8A shifter, can personally vouch for that one myself, and a 34-inch monitor.
And he's got a lead foot.
He's got a lead foot. He's got a very colourful case, so I'm not sure if it's the colours doing the performance there, but something magical is coming out of that sim racing setup.
No, it's a nice setup too, and it's good to see Damien Johnson. He can take a couple of photos. So I love that one where he's gone through the seat to take the steering wheel. So a little bit of artistic talent, I suppose you want to call it there, guys. So yeah, it's good to see them coming in. So don't forget simrigs.com segment. Show us your rig. Send them into the Discord channel, and we'll get them out through our pre-race shows. But of course, it's another big one this week. Friday night, we get back underway with the AOSC 10 race 183. It will be in the series. And this week, it's obviously 2 drivers, 1 car, 650 kilometres. It's a big endurance, Watkins Glen boot from New York. Dan, let's run us through it.
Well, we're off to Watkins Glen, and a circuit synonymous with a lot of drivers here. We've all started out there at some point through our sim careers, whether it be on anything or iRacing. But the circuit details, 5.5 kilometres, very quick run for the guys to get through. Turn 1, it looks easy. It's very deceptive with the camber flow on the way in. Expect some 2 and 3 wide, especially on the opening lap with the guys trying to work their way down. But much like we saw at Sonoma, there's a huge amount of off track to the exit of that corner that the guys can really exploit to set themselves up for a nice run up through the S's. The S's are going to be key if you want to try and get a good passing opportunity down towards the inner loop there. Past seasons when we run there, you've seen some big braking duels as the guys try and get the cars in, but got to manage the curb control as you get in and float the car through that little S's exchange. The next big one will be down in towards the toe, to about 2/3 of the way through the lap. We are using the toe and heel section of the Watkins layout. So about 4 options you've got for lines to get through there. So you can really take your choice depending on whether you're going defensive or attacking on the way in. And get it right, though, you set yourself up for a nice run in towards the heel. Very tight, tricky corner, a lot of curb that you can use, but it will unsettle the car if you're a little bit too tricky on it. Then to conclude the lap, we've got a really quick run off the back straight down through the left-right section before you get onto the front straight. So some very quick times can be set. We're having a quick chat with Jordan prior to going on the show. We're expecting the drivers to be around the 151.8 to 152 range. We know Norry's been out cutting a few laps, a little bit slower for him in the 155. So we're expecting some quick times out there. And as you say, Matt, we're going to go back to the endurance format, which 2 drivers in the car, you've got to compromise the setup just a little bit, but strategy will be the big thing that's going to come into it.
All right, Jordan, run us through it. What is the most exciting sections of this lap?
Definitely up through the S's. You're hanging on through there, and if you're behind a car, you're definitely hanging on because of the aero. But and then the run down to the bus stop. It's a really it's a passing spot, but it's a real low percentage passing spot. But you know, if you get a mega run through the S's, like, and the car in front of you doesn't, it's sort of just so enticing to go for such a low percentage move up at the bus stop. So yeah, look out for through the S's to the bus stop for all the action to happen, I reckon.
Where do you find the cars most unsettled? Like, what's your most problematic area of the track?
It would be turn. I'll tell you.
Personally, I find the toe. I don't know why. I always seem to the back tries to overtake the front when I get hard on the brakes there.
I think it'll be. I think on Nick's version of the track it'll be turn 9, but it's basically where you come back off the boot section to the normal short course of Watkins, and you come over that crest, and it's a real sharp left-hander. It's sort of like a multiple apex corner. The exit's unsighted, and there's a crest right on the apex. So it's that's probably for us. That's probably the most, like, that's where you'll gain a lot of time and lose a lot of time. The rest of the tracks, like it's like up through the S's and stuff. There's going to be thousandths in it, not tenths.
Yeah, well, single shootout qualifying again for this one. So obviously that means in practice we'll go through pre-qualifying. The top 10 will get their broadcast lap individually. They'll be able to see everyone else's time, everyone on a single lap. Does that make a big difference with drafting?
Yeah, look, I think like I said, down towards the bus stop, there's a bit of drafting happening. Yeah, with the single lap quali, I mean, drafting won't come into it for the qualifying, so it'll be we'll be equal footed there. But during the race, I think probably the draft will just happen into the bus stop.
Well, Norry, what do you reckon about pit exit? Is that going to be interesting when they start to take the pit stops?
Yes, it is, because you're going to have to merge onto, as John was just saying, you're going to have to merge onto right before the S is there, and that becomes a single line track once you fire up through the top of the hill. So it's going to be difficult to manage coming back onto the circuit, making sure you're not in someone's way.
And, of course, all thanks to Pure Driving School, you've gone and done a lap, and whose car did you manage to get into this week? Because 2 drivers, it's going to be hard to squeeze in there and try and get a couple of laps in on someone's car.
I didn't steal a car. I used my own car this week. So I jumped in the Team Hyperdrive Mustang and I gave it a bit of a squirt around a Watkins boot. Here it is. G'day everyone and welcome aboard Norry's Navigation for this week's round at Watkins Glen. I'm in my Team Hyperdrive Mustang and I'm feeling much more comfortable, so let's give this a good old strangle and see where we end up. Firing it down the main straight, building up to top speed now, doing about 220 above the line there, down into turn 1. It's tricky downhill, you got to keep the rear of the car in line with the front of it, and make sure you don't end up rounding the road too far there. Nice short run into turn 2, and it's really tight like a tiger up through the wall here, and it gets really close in on each side, so you got to watch it and make sure you don't overcommit to turn 3 there as you climb through. Forward pretty easy, pretty flat out, and it's approaching 250 k's, maxing out before we start braking for the bus stop. And it's as tricky as a bus stop because you're trying to get it left, right, left into that one. Around here they call this outer loop. We fire our way down the chute, tricky exit here, but you got to make sure you make it perfect as you get back on the brakes for turn 6. You'll just watch the oversteer on that one as you try and get the wheels out of the dirt. As we climb around to turn 7, it's a bit of a hairpin this one. You've really got to watch the inside of the car. Tries to step out on you there and gets a bit hairy. We make our run up the hill towards the heel, which is often referred to as turn 8. Turning in and using a little bit of the curve on the left helps you, but feed it back over to the right so you get turned into turn 9. And this is a short run as well. We join the main track of Watkins and we find ourselves braking for turn 10. drivers will have to watch out for drivers exiting to the right for the pit lane. As you navigate turn 11, you cross that pit lane threshold line, and then you fire it down the main straight, and that is a lap at Watkins. Let's hope we get it somewhere near the pointy end.
Well, Norry, another fantastic lap, this time at Watkins Glen Boot, and I'm saying that with tongue-in-cheek because it didn't all go to plan after that, and we're not going to see that. That's going to get edited out. What happened?
The car was on its roof multiple times.
So,
it's good only for the weekend.
So you're racing this week.
I
We're
am.
saying you've got to do a minimum, I think, what do we say, Dan? It was like a minimum 32 laps or 42 laps. Yeah, and he couldn't put two together.
It's all about working up to it. You start off without actually being able to finish two, and then by the time you've got to do 40-something or other laps, you'll be fine.
So, Jordan, what we're trying to say is steer clear of Norry. Just stay clear of his car.
No, I do.
Oh, don't worry. You'll probably be in the top 10. You'll be fine.
I'll see you on the way back through, Norry.
Cheers, mate. I'll see you then.
I'll tell you what, Norry, though, what were some of the most difficult parts of the track? Where do you think people are going to come unstuck?
The main ones we've been talking about all night: the toe, the heel, the coming back off the boot onto the. It's a very silly track name. They shouldn't have called it boot, but coming back off the boot onto the normal Watkins circuit. It's just, getting the car settled through some of those corners is just wrong. So either I've got to change the setup, or it's just going to be hard to drive.
All right, what's your pit stop strategy going to be? You're racing, so you're going to let everyone know, or are you going to keep that secret?
Of course, I'm going to go for the undercut and try and go long and all that stuff. No, I'm not going to tell anyone the pit stop strategy, because pit stop strategy is enduro time. Two drivers, got to make compromise with your strategy. Some drivers will want to take that undercut, so you do get more chance to, jump up the field with faster lap times in clean air. Some drivers will run long. I reckon most of the guys at the front are going to run long. Jordan, you're the best person to tell us. What are you going to do?
I'll probably be back with you. I currently am in the process of building a new sim, so I won't get many laps until probably Friday Arvo. So I think Kyle will be doing the majority of the work on Friday night, and I think he'll probably be doing the majority of the laps, and he'll be the fast guy. So I think my plan will be probably minimum laps and hand it over to Kyle and let him drag my ass to the top 10.
Fair enough.
That's not a bad plan to have. I don't mind if someone else does the work. You may get in the top 10. What's wrong with that?
No, that's good. I've got a fridge full of gym tins, so I'll just do my bit and I'll go crack on and watch him bring it home.
There's not even a lake in the middle. You can get on the jet ski and sort of just have a putt around and watch him either.
Yeah, no, he'll be right, mate. He'll do the job. So, that's if I make the race, but I'll be trying my hardest, even if I'm like got the seat half bolted on. I'll try and get me laps out of the way so he can do his thing.
Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting. Done a couple of laps around there this week myself, and definitely not getting anywhere near the 157. So I will not be competing. I will not be taking time out. I'm back. I've had my week off, so it is time now for Norry to go and get his manicure done and his pedicure and make himself look pretty in the race.
Well, there was a 3-for-1 deal. Dan's had his, you've had yours. I'm going to go try mine.
It was pay for two, get one free. So it's just time for you to get in there. It's going to be a fantastic race this week. The Enduro, 2 drivers, 650 kilometres. And this is the big one. We start a little bit earlier this week, of course. 7:25 p.m. will be the qualifying shootout. That's when television will start, when we'll have the YouTube channel up and running. 8 p.m. will be the main race. So 8 p.m., what have we got? 119 laps to do. It's going to be huge. Can't wait to get back into it. Round number 8 for the AOSC TV. Of course, if you haven't already, go to the YouTube channel, like and subscribe, because Friday, 19th of March, race 183, going to be huge. Watkins Glen, New York. Guys, have we got anything else to add?
SSR to win.
It's SSR to win. I think you've got enough guys in the top 10. If you can get the right guys to join up, I think you're definitely in for a podium.
Well, yeah, we've got. I think it's Tom and Wayne. We'll have a crack, and I think Michael Schreier and Hobbo will be up there too. So I'm looking forward to it.
Some strong pairings. Pairings. There you go.
I'm going to say Hyperdrive to win, just since we're playing our own game here.
And let me guess, Dan, who do you think is going to win?
Look, I'm going to back my team to win.
Yeah.
Someone from Coda Sim Sports will get the win. So, yeah, look, I'm just going to throw the dice in the air. I think it's a very hard one to discount James Scott and the Logitech G guys. I think Synergy definitely going to be up towards the pointy end because they're always strong. Come Enduro time, DPR and Premier. It's a real who's who is going to be in the top 10 there. It's going to be near impossible to pick out a front-running contender. I don't think Norry's going to be in it. Sorry, Norry. And for your teammate's sake, don't pee in the seat.
Thanks for the compliment, man.
Just keeping the seat warm, literally. That's what it is, literally. All right, one more question, though. Safety car. Do we have it?
Absolutely.
I'll probably cause it.
Jordan, you're not causing the safety car this week, are you?
Well, I've caused it a few times this season, actually. Who knows? But hopefully not. Hopefully, hopefully, if Norrie puts it on his roof, I can wave on my way through, knock him back on his four wheels.
Appreciate that, Jordan. I'll accept that offer.
All right, so the commentators are saying it's going to be another week where we get a safety car. Not sure when that'll happen. I think the first corner is pretty tight. We could see something happen in the first lap. So we'll wait and see. It's all going to happen. 7:25 where we get the qualifying shootout started. That's the guys who have pre-qualified in the top 10 will get their own lap televised, but it is a single lap shootout. So they could end up anywhere in the field. 8 p.m. though, make sure you're in front of your YouTube channel, AOSC TV. And 8 p.m, get the snacks ready, get the beer ready, get whatever it is, because we're going racing at Watkins Glen Boot for race number 183. Can't wait to see you there. We'll see you then.